After a wild start to TBT 2025, we move to round 2 from Lexington, Kentucky, inside historic Memorial Coliseum. Two teams have taken one step closer to the $1 million prize, but you've got 5 wins to go to hit the jackpot. It's the 6-seed Tampa pickup basketball against the 2-seed Eberlein Drive. Winner moves on to the regional final on Tuesday here in Lexington. Winner also could put themselves in position to play La Familia, the Kentucky alumni team, who takes on an Auburn alumni team right after this game here in Lexington. Great to have you with us. Happy Sunday, everybody. We are ready for round 2 of TBT. Alongside the All-American Robbie Hummel, I'm Chris Fosters. Jen Hale is with us as well. So it's good that you've got one win under your belt if you're these two teams here today, but you still got a long road to go.
The problem is you need 5 more to get into the money in this event. Eberlein Drive, one of the charter teams of TBT, and then you look at Tampa, Florida pickup basketball, a team that's very scrappy, found a way against the Dunkin' Dogs, a team that's looking for more, but you're going to have to go through one of the best teams to do it in Eberlein Drive if you want to advance.
And even though Tampa, Florida pickup basketball is a new TBT team and they've got pickup in their name, there's some impressive pros not only playing but coaching.
No doubt. Mo Spade's now the player development coordinator at USF, but you think about his NBA career, the job that he did, David Collins, Brandon Stroud, a couple guys that played at USF. Stroud was fantastic against the Dunkin' Dogs, 16 points, 8 rebounds. They found a way in that game. They're going to have to find a way today against a very, very talented group of pros in Eberlein Drive.
And you mentioned it, they've been playing in this tournament since it began in 2014, and they've continued to reload their roster.
Well, you can just go down their roster, whether it's Anthony Clemens in the career that he's had overseas. A.J. Slaughter is 38 years old and in his 16th year of professional basketball. Terry Taylor, NBA experience, he's going over to China. Ryan Brown has been everywhere in Europe. They have experienced pros. They have experience in winning TBT. They have to be looked at as one of the favorites to advance, not just today, but throughout this entire tournament.
And playing again in Lexington, Kentucky, where La Familia, the Kentucky alumni program, is the host team, Eberlein Drive could really be a fly in the ointment. Lineups tip off coming up next, round 2 of TBT. It's Tampa pickup basketball and Eberlein Drive. TBT, the basketball tournament, is powered by Puma and by Or Health. Or Health, a daily pill to drink less or quit. And Purple. Purple, less pain, better sleep. We are just about ready to go with tip-off in the first game of round 2 from Lexington. The starters for Tampa pickup basketball: Deontay Bostic, David Collins, Garrett Denbo, Isaiah Adams, Jameel Reynolds, who just wrapped up his college career last season at the University of South Florida. For Eberlein Drive, Anthony Clemens, Gabe York, Ryan Brown, Terry Taylor, and Nate Watson. That's a collection of guys who had really good college careers and are playing still at a very high level professionally.
And I think, Chris, the thing that sticks out as you look at the starting fives, Tampa pickup basketball, a lot of rookies, a lot of first-year players that are pros. Eberlein Drive, you're talking about guys that are 7, 8, and 9 years pro with experience. So we'll see what this youth does. And Tampa coming out early on in a little bit of a zone.
And a takeaway by David Collins of Tampa, Florida pickup basketball. He misses the layup, and the rebound to Terry Taylor. Now it's Gabe York for Eberlein Drive in the dark blue jerseys. Nate Watson misses
I was going to
close.
say, a lot of contact. Good dribble drive there, taking advantage of the missed layup. Eberlein Drive, they're not waiting around. They're looking to throw it ahead. See it so often. Missed layups lead to runouts for layups and threes. And Eberlein Drive, they're not messing around early on in this game.
No one's waiting around. Pretty fast start. Fouls on Isaiah Adams of Tampa, Florida pickup basketball. And Nate Watson couldn't quite convince that ball to drop through. Watson played college basketball at Providence for 5 seasons from 2017 to 2022. And we were commenting beforehand, Robbie, he's evolved into a professional body.
No question about that. Maybe taking his fitness a little more seriously, but played this last year in Greece and Spain. A little late on the help defense right there. And Isaiah Adams, bad gamble. You give him a lane to the rim, he takes advantage.
Adams had the Elam ending game-winning bucket for Tampa in round 1. He gets their first bucket here today. It's 2-1. Tampa pick up basketball in the white jerseys. Eberlein Drive in the dark blue.
One of the things with the collection of talent that Eberlein Drive is assembled is how do you kind of spread out the shots for so many good players? And that's a good problem to have, but certainly something that they're going to have to figure out.
Gabe York with the triple.
No surprise to see that as Gabe York has gone to some places where he gets more consistent time, not going up and down between the G League and the NBA. Last 2 seasons, he shot over 40% from 3. Really good shooter, had a big career in Arizona, and no surprise to see him getting it going early.
Another guy who can shoot the 3 really well, Garrett Denbo for Team Tampa. He's off the mark there. This is Clemens, the former Iowa Hawkeye. York dumps it down to Ryan Brown. A lot of shooters on this Eberlein roster, but Brown is just short.
You're right about Denbo. Had a big-time shooting career in college. Division II player, but 0 for 5 from 3 in 2 TBT games.
Reynolds rattles that 15-footer.
Spades was very open about talking in Jameel Reynolds' talent. And just how, for him, that's not the issue. It's about being consistent and finding the work ethic that's going to maximize that talent.
York with an air ball. And this is Deontay Bostic at the controls for Tampa, Florida pickup basketball. Almost went wire to wire.
Good job by Nate Watson of going vertical right there and making that offensive player score over the top.
Bostic did somewhat of a handspring to get back to his feet there. Here's Watson. He dribbles it off his leg, and it's taken by Bostic eventually. Adams, 3-ball from the lefty. Strong.
Good block out by Terry Taylor right there.
He's only listed at 6'4", 6'5", but a really good rebounder.
He looks slimmed down as well. He looks like he's really gotten lean and mean here. Just signed a deal to go over to China, played for the Pacers, the Bulls, the Sacramento Kings. G League championship this last year with the Stockton Kings.
Had 2,000 points and 1,000 rebounds at Austin Peay in an outstanding college career. Clemens in and out, Adams the rebound for Tampa, and Bostic spins off Clemens on the drive, and still no finish for Bostic, but last touched by Eberlein Drive.
Not easy for those small guards. That was a strong move, just shedding defenders, trying to slow down that 1-2. You still have to finish it. It's a lot easier for a guy that's 6'8", 6'9" to do it compared to 6'2" like Bostic is.
Bostic had 12 in Tampa's round 1 win. Reynolds with the miss.
Good defense there by Nate Watson. Imagine that physicality.
I'm not much of a lip reader, Robbie, but I could hear Isaiah Adams complaining at the missed call there. 4-4, 5:50 to go in the first quarter. 4 9-minute quarters in these TBT games, and every game ends on a made shot. The Elam ending. Play to a target score. You turn off the game clock when we get inside of 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
These teams kind of feeling their way out. 3 of 13 from the field combined. Eberlein Drive has been a bit loose with the ball. 2 early turnovers that have led to runouts.
There was a foul there. Art Vaughn, Mike Wallace, James Hicks are our officials today. Brandon Stroud picks up the foul, his first.
Look at that rotation. Closeout from David Collins and then rotation from Deontay Bostic. Really well done.
Bostic, high post. Ryan Brown on his back. Bostic got that one to drop.
How did he get that to go? Ryan Brown was right there with the contest. There was a double clutch by Bostic on that release. Somehow just drives it into the front of the rim and gets the roll over.
First season for Tampa in TBT. They won by 1 point in round 1 over the Duncan Dogs, a Louisiana Tech alumni team.
Block out there by Brandon Stroud. He was going up against a much bigger Nate Watson. He won that one-on-one battle.
Jameel Reynolds is fouled. And some substitutions for Eberlein Drive after Nate Watson picks up his first personal.
I'm really impressed with the start here by Tampa pickup basketball, just because they're so young compared to Eberlein Drive. Eberlein Drive with the seasoned pros, and these Tampa pickup basketball players, it's rookies, it's first-year pros.
Some substitutions into the game for Tampa, Florida as well. Mason Harrell hits a fadeaway.
That's a tough contested shot over the top of Tommy Rutherford.
This is Terrell Brown off the bench for Eberlein. This is the floater. Brown somehow got the rebound.
Smallest guy on the floor for Eberlein Drive. A little bit of right place, right time. You have to think with as small as Tampa is on the floor right now, when Jameel Reynolds goes off the floor, everybody, all 5 guys are going to have to make up for that rebounding.
Stroud was bumped and fouled. That's on Anthony Clemens of Eberlein Drive.
That's his first and the team's second.
Second team foul on Eberlein Drive. You get 5 team fouls, and then in bonus free throw situations, you get 2 free throws automatically. Stroud's got it in around Terry Taylor, and Francis Sio into the game for Tampa, Florida pickup basketball. He had a great game round 1 for Tampa in their TBT debut. Here's Sio for 3. Short. Rebound Clemens. York, swish.
You've got to have an awareness with Gabe York. The quick release right there. You might think you're close enough, but you better get a hand up and you better take him on a rhythm.
York's got 6. Brandon Stroud, baseline, spin in the lane to Harrell, who nearly hit another fadeaway shot. Rebound tip to Brown. Brown inside. Had a hand in his face, gets his own miss again, and Clemens drains the 3.
Some of those offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities are starting to pay off for Eberlein Drive. It's been their guards that have created them, but right there, good awareness and spraying it for 3.
Maurice Spates is asking for a timeout, and James Hicks, the official, finally sees him. So timeout, Tampa, Florida pickup basketball with Eberlein Drive on an 8-0 run.
Eberlein Drive starting to heat it up from the perimeter. A big part of that certainly Gabe York in this quick release. Here's Anthony Clemens, though. Offensive rebound, spray it to the corner. They now have 3 triples here in this first.
Sounds good.
I like this Tampa team. They play hard.
Yeah, it was, you know, with these first-year TBT teams, you never really know like how organized they're going to be,
Yeah,
but
they're
they seem
pretty organized.
Yeah. box score really becomes your friend in those solo YouTube games. You just, come
Start
back and kind of read the stats.
Recap them.
Yeah.
At least no YouTube games today. FS2 being the...
Four-point lead for Eberlein Drive in round 2 of TBT. Eberlein Drive is coached by Bryce Taylor, and Jen Hale has got a little bit more on the bench boss for Eberlein Drive.
Indeed, Chris. It's a new era for Eberlein Drive and their storied history with TBT. Bryce Taylor taking over that head coaching tenure, and he brings a wealth of experience and a lot of different avenues to this team. First of all, he's spent the past few years as an assistant coach with the Pacers G League team, so he brings some professional swagger here. He himself spent 13 years playing overseas, and then he has even played in TBT himself with the Always Us Oregon squad back in the day. Players respond to him so well. In fact, he coached Terry Taylor and Gabe York with that Pacers organization. And I can tell you guys, he has been animated and energetic on the sideline. Sometimes I think he wants to jump in and play himself.
Thank you very much, Jen.
Oh,
Gabe York,
man!
hanging from the rim. That's not his game, Robbie.
I didn't know Gabe York had that in him, but the trail spot, he elevates and goes up and tears the rim off.
Well, just to put a button on what Jen was saying, is Mason Harrell hits the 15-footer. I don't think Eberlein Drive needs him to play. It's a deep roster this year.
He has plenty of talent, but it's always a good thing when the coach can relate. Even if it's as simple as being like, man, I've played in TBT. I understand the rules. I understand some of the quirks of playing out here. But to be a guy that's played for that long and now has coached some of these guys, even at the G League level, that's a big benefit. Here's that Gabe York slam. One dribble, and boy, you've got Mason Harrell with the angle to contest, but really not the interest, and then clearly a foul there. Blanks bumps Gabe York on the three, and what a start for him. Had a monster year in China, averaged 21 a game. That's continuing right on here at TBT.
It sure is. Gabe York already with 8 points in the first quarter on the heels of 17 in his TBT opener 2 days ago in Eberlein Drive's 81-63 win over Richards Elite. And now 10 for York. He gets one more free throw as he was fouled in the act of a three-point shot by Justin Blanks.
Checking in is number 4, A.J. Slaughter.
A.J. Slaughter is going into his 16th year as a pro. He is 38 years old, and he's played everywhere. Italy, Belgium, France, Greece, Turkey, Spain, and everywhere that you could think of. He has played pro basketball, and see him out here, pretty cool.
Slaughter is guarding the ball right now, number 4 in blue. This is Trey Dooms for Tampa, and a collision and a foul along the baseline.
Way back when, A.J. Slaughter on an awesome Western Kentucky team with Jeremy Evans.
Taylor, that's his first and the team's third.
Slaughter guarding CO now. Slaughter lives in Louisville. It's about an hour and 20 minutes from here in Lexington, so he's got a lot of friends and family at the game. Off the air ball, nearly taken back by Tampa, Florida, and a jump ball is called. Not sure where the possession arrow was pointing. Okay.
Checking in for Tampa is number 7, Deontay Boston.
Right now, it's turned off.
That's why I was like,
But now there's a debate. No,
figure that. They're gonna figure
it's
that.
going to be Tampa.
Well. What?
About 3 of them missed.
How many shots you done missed?
No, I haven't shot the ball yet.
So when you shoot, we're gonna talk about it when you shoot.
The game within the game, right?
Also checking in for Tampa is number 2,
Politicking with the
Reynolds.
officials.
That's right. Gotta get calls later on.
Eberlein drive by 7 points, late first quarter. Bostic around a Jameel Reynolds screen. Tampa, Florida ball. This is Dooms. Hooks it to Bostic. And now Devin Harris for 3. Book it.
Boy, a little overzealous there. Gabe York, he's thinking he's got to rotate, but A.J. Slaughter is getting back, and that leaves the corner three-point shooter all by himself. A lot of contact.
Sure is. Devin Harris ends up seated in front of his own
The bounce
bench.
on Harris. That's
Picks up the foul.
Here you see just a little bit of a miscommunication. York's rotating up, Slaughter's getting back, and Devin Harris wide open, locked and loaded.
But the foul line, Devin Harris, puts Eberlein drives Gabe York at the foul line. York with a dozen points already.
Really no surprise. We know he can score that thing. He's done it overseas. He's done it in this event.
York was, as you might imagine, with his international pedigree, a coveted player for multiple TBT teams this year. Had even some lucrative offers to play for other teams in this tournament, but really gelled with Eberlein drive, their not only head coach Bryce Taylor, but their general managers Jacob Hirschman and Matt Mitchell, who put the team together. Dooms into the corner for Stroud. 3-ball in.
Good read right there. You're going to have to take away the roll man. That's exactly what Eberlein's doing. So that means the corner three-point shooter is open.
Terrell Brown, in his second season with the drive, drops in a tier.
basket by Brown.
Stroud at the free throw line. Reynolds at nearly 7 feet wins the possession. Stroud, weak side cleanup.
But those are the types of plays that Brandon Stroud made over the course of his college career at Kennesaw State and USF, and has done so in TBT. Working that weak side, that rebound comes off soft, and he's right there to tap it home.
20 seconds to go, first quarter. A.J. Slaughter on the ball for Eberlein drive. They lead by 3. Slaughter guarded by Stroud. 3 on the shot clock. Slaughter wide left.
Well, that was awesome defense by Tampa, because they're trying to get Jameel Reynolds into that ball screen. Brandon Stroud just kept him low, went up, they switched 4 ways, and kept the big fella out of the action.
3 seconds to go, first quarter. Stroud, short. And a good first quarter, competitive between Eberlein drive and Tampa pickup basketball. 21-18 the score. Round 2 of TBT. Winner of this game moves on to the 3rd round. Loser goes home and sees their $1 million dream dashed. Great to be with you from Memorial Coliseum in Lexington, Kentucky. We've got the second quarter around the bend.
also alert to zone. Alert to zone.
Next Sunday on Fox, with a historic three-peat on the line, can Alex Palou become the fastest ever to lock up an IndyCar Series championship, or will the pack hold him off? Next Sunday, 3 Eastern, only on Fox. Back to the hardwood, Memorial Coliseum, Lexington, Kentucky. Round 2 of the basketball tournament. The 2 seed in this region, Eberlein Drive, leads the 6 seed, Tampa pickup basketball, 21-18. Eberlein Drive starting with the ball, and a 3-ball by Pedro Bradshaw drops in.
Well, Tampa wants to go a little matchup zone. That's one way to beat it, is Pedro Bradshaw just shoots it right over the top. Didn't score in the win against Richards Elite, but gets on the board here to start the second quarter.
First action of the game for Bradshaw. Did not play in the first quarter. This is Jameel Reynolds guarded by Watson. Good D by Watson. Here's Harris with 10 to shoot. Re-entry Reynolds. He's pushed out by Watson. Some good bully ball there, but Watson wins the battle.
Boy, Watson just not giving up an angle, matching that physicality and trying to push the bigger Jameel Reynolds off that block. Good defense.
Reynolds listed at 275, played at South Florida last season. Slaughter misses the J. Stroud now with 5 points to lead Tampa pickup basketball. Not enough on the reverse.
A little out of control there, trying to take on 3 defenders.
Brown's pass blocked by Bostic. Bradshaw nearly lays it in. And the rebound to Harris.
That would have been the all-time look what I found basket right there.
You get one of those a game, I feel like.
That'd be generous.
I
would have taken one of those a game as a player.
There's a pass that's batted away. Slaughter with it for Eberlein. Watson fouled.
Good find from A.J. Slaughter. You reward that big fella for running the floor. Secondary break type action, but Nate Watson coming into your screen slowly. Slaughter sees him. There he is, and Brandon Stroud late getting back. That's where that's got to be communicated out, though. You know, Stroud's got to be yelling ahead, and somebody's got to be taking him on. Stroud can then just fan out to the weak side.
Watson's got 2 points, both at the free throw line today. There's Isaiah Adams back into the game for Tampa, Florida. Eberlein Drive is played in every TBT. Going back to 2014, the first year of this tournament. They went all the way to the semifinal last year, trying to get 1 step farther and make it 2 steps farther and win the whole thing this time.
But they're one of the great programs that hasn't been able to knock down that door yet. So many have. You think about, obviously, Overseas Elite. They got through it quickly, but Carmen's crew and some of the other great teams, Sideline Cancer has been trying to get through there as well.
Got to win 6 games.
Yeah,
2 shots, 2 shots, 2 shots.
Eberlein Drive also had a run to the championship game back in 2018. Lost to the Overseas Elite program that Robbie mentioned. Overseas Elite had a chokehold on this tournament from 2015 to 2018, winning it 4 straight years. Reynolds misses the free throw.
Who said that? What? What'd he do?
A lot of friendly banter going on in that free throw between the officials, the players. It's good to hear.
It's a social game, isn't it?
Sometimes it's not friendly banter.
Coming back!
Here's Gabe York, who had 13 of Eberlein Drive's 21 points in the first quarter. He has his pocket picked by David Collins, who nearly gave it back. Here's Bostic.
No foul.
He's fouled at the rim.
Think about turning it over. Your defense just never gets set. You're playing behind all the time. Even though David Collins kind of lost it, then you get the immediate redrive by Bostic in there.
Bostic at the line for 2.
Terry Taylor picked up the foul for Eberlein Drive. It's his second. And Bostic is another guy who wrapped up his college career just last season in the spring.
This is a young, hungry team. Think about some of the opportunities for young players to get to play in a TBT, get some good tape out there. We saw it yesterday in Louisville. We saw some guys that were on the younger side of things really play well.
And even though you think, oh, you're just coming out of a college season, certainly you're in great shape, but you're playing against grown men in this tournament who are, in their late 20s, early 30s in many cases. So, it's a jump.
When you think about the differences from pro basketball and college basketball, it's just the level of preparation, the level of skill that these guys have. It's from putting work in over a long period of time, and these turnovers are starting to kind of rack up for Eberlein Drive. That's 5 now with 6 to go in the second quarter.
Pin down coming. Gary, pin down. Coming out.
Eberlein Drive only had 9 turnovers.
Oh, that's a bad call because David Collins got shoved by Gabe York. I think that's the...
I got 32 flagrantly. 32 clearly flagrantly pushed him.
Okay, I'll push white.
Watch the way Gabe York just shoves it. They're going to overturn this.
Block the foul.
Yeah,
right
that's
here.
That's
right
the
here.
right call.
Yeah, hey, we have to think about foul on that.
Yes, we're going to look at it.
Yeah, well, no, we can't.
I think right now, Chris, they're debating if that was a basketball play.
That's fine. We're gonna go flagrant foul on that.
And that's what they're going to say. It was
What
not
number was
a
that?
basketball
Hey,
play.
all right. It was 32. It was 32.
On top of that,
I think Gabe York just got a tech as well.
Can we talk through what happened? Because I thought we had an offensive foul, and then it became a defensive foul, flagrant foul. And now
That was the right call. There is no question David Collins was shoved by Gabe York, and then that had stemmed from the other end of the floor.
Flagrant foul. So we wanted 32 black. We wanted the foul on 32. Right, so we went that block.
hey, let's just refocus.
32.
Let's just refocus.
you coming to me, bro. What you coming to talk to me for?
Hey, let's just refocus. Let's regain control of the game.
You can always look at the money.
Well, that's what I was telling you.
It's just 2 shots, and then we'll go back to 2 shots for the flagrant.
Well, he said we couldn't.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Monitor.
We could go to the monitor.
So there's some debate, Chris, amongst the officials on what games the monitor is in play. This is a game where they can't use the monitor because it is on TV.
then we'll come back to the flagrant, right? Because we got to So anybody shoots the tee, everybody's going to shoot their tag. And then
That's how we got.
And who was being guard number 20 will shoot the flagrant because he got flagrantly fouled by 32.
20.
Okay.
20.
I'll stay here next play.
Okay. It's going to be 4 total. Because you got, no, 3. Because you got the 2 for the flagrant. Right. Because they call that a flagrant. And then we got the 1 for the free throw.
Okay, thank you.
One shot. So we got 3. We got 3 then. Oh, so it's just 2 shots. So we just got 2 shots. 2 shots.
There's only 3 fouls on Eberlein drive, so I don't know why there would be an extra one for the foul.
Gabe York got a foul and a technical foul. Adams misses the free throw, so cue the ball don't lie cliche.
There's definitely a shove.
Now David Collins is at the free throw line. You saw him on the receiving end of the collision with Gabe York, and he misses a free throw.
I don't understand why there's 3 free throws. Because they're not in the bonus. You have a flagrant foul, which I would think would be 2 shots. No.
There was the technical free throw, and then
so Gabe York got the tech. I forgot, so that's why. Because of Gabe York's tech.
Bostic puts it home after there were no points added via free throw after all was said and done. Bostic's got 6.
I wanted to clear up a wet spot down there.
They can be tougher to mop up than you would think. Take some elbow grease. Getting back into the flow of the game here. Eberlein drive by 2. And Bradshaw saves the possession. It finds York in the corner. He misses the 3. Offensive rebound, Watson. Right hand, too strong. Bradshaw bats that one up, but David Collins upstream with it. Reynolds for Collins, blocked and stripped by Watson, and that's a foul.
David Collins is very fortunate there. You're just not putting Jameel Reynolds in a comfortable place there. You've got to keep that one more to where if you are going to pass to Reynolds, it's got to just be he's going up to finish it. That easily could have been a travel, and then Eberlein drive didn't feel like they thought they got a lot of ball right there.
Collins is he's now 0 for 3.
3 of 8 from the line here.
Collins had a very impactful game in round 1, despite shooting 1 of 12 from the floor. Not shooting any better at the free throw line today.
He's got to get that thing up. I mean, both those clearly short.
Ryan Brown at 4 threes in round 1 for Eberlein drive 2 days ago. It's tipped out of bounds.
Boston really fighting Terry Taylor down there, but Tampa helping him out with some ball pressure. You know, that's one of the great equalizers of when you've got a mismatch inside, you pressure the ball and you take away some high-low opportunities. It's really hard to get it down there.
Clemens short, Rutherford fouled on the stick back.
Tampa's going to have to rebound. Even with Reynolds in the game, it's going to be an issue because Eberlein drive has the size advantage at most positions.
Rutherford did a great job getting himself to the line in round 1. He had a double-figure performance for the drive, 12.7 rebounds. His first points of round 2.
Played last season for Motor City in the G League, the Detroit Pistons G League affiliate. For 6 and 5, 61% from the field. Played at UC Irvine, and boy, that hurts. You never want to see. It used to drive me crazy. Now there's a bit more of an excuse here when your teammates that you've played with for all of 4 days going on lane violations, but nothing drove me crazier than when guys I've played with would go in and take away an opportunity to make a free throw. Like, you watch me shoot these every day.
You know my cadence.
Yeah, a little different animal here, but
Denbo short, Rutherford the rebound. York around Denbo.
Oh, what a move.
Finger roll.
He left Jameel Reynolds in the dust. You put him in space, that pick and roll flowing in out of transition, and Gabe York, killer crossover all the way downhill.
And Stroud with a contested layup.
Right back at you. Same crossover dribble.
Drive by 3. This has been a close game throughout.
How good was that closeout right there? Brandon Stroud taking Ryan Brown out of his rhythm and containing the bounce as well, but they're hunting Jameel Reynolds.
Clemens takes advantage. Stroud is a long and lanky guard, 26 in white for Tampa, Florida to pick up basketball. Stroud open. Adams drops it off for Reynolds.
Wide open. Nobody wants those mid-range jumpers anymore.
Short for Bostic. York's had the hot hand. That's not changing.
How about the pass, though, from Ryan Brown? Denbo's trying to play 2. Brown can shoot it. Gabe York can really shoot it. That bounce pass under the outstretched hand in transition, Eberlein drive. They're looking for these threes. They've made 5 of them today. Good transition offense, little ball fake, bounce pass. Gabe York's cashing out.
York got 18. Everybody else don't got none. York got 18.
But the 18 he got, most of it he gave to him.
Yep.
Wide open threes. Like, what's he doing? We gave him 3 free throws on a foul. Gotta get him one shot.
Yo, listen. York got 18 points. He got 18. All on threes. Down here, we gotta have confidence, bro. We should be. Look at our score right now. We down, but we should be down there up.
We should be down 2 right now. Free throws, I mean, goddamn, 6, 7 in a row. Free throws and miss layups. We should be down 2.
Mason,
come on.
You right here. I mean, I want Garrett right here. I want Zay right here. Mason here, 5, and Deontay. Throw it here, man. Zay, I just want you to dive into the middle of the goal. You got a smaller guy, Yeah.
Hey,
no, Garrett, you right here.
Yeah.
If it's not open, just come off the dribble handoff. But we could draw all this shit up if we want, man. We got to get some stops down here, man. York got 18. Everybody else got 4 points.
We referenced this a short while ago, but here are the past TBT champions, brought to you by AARP. Join AARP and get instant access to member benefits. The 4-peat for overseas elite college alumni teams have done really well at this, especially in recent years. An Ohio State alumni team won it last year. A Buffalo alumni team won it in 2022. Boeheim's Army is a Syracuse alumni team. Golden Eagles, a Marquette alumni team. So these 2 teams on the floor right now trying to buck that trend, especially Eberlein Drive, who got oh so close to the championship game last year and bowed out in the semifinal.
Gabe York plays like this. I like their chances. He's been phenomenal. 18 points, 5 of 7 from the field. Certainly the difference in the game has been the play of Gabe York and then the free throw woes of Tampa pickup basketball. They are 3 of 9 from the foul line.
We were listening to head coach Maurice Spates' huddle, and he was talking about that. And also mentioning the fact that Gabe York has 18 points for Eberlein Drive, and the next leading scorer for the Drive is Anthony Clemens with 5.
You think about how deflating it is when you go to the line. I mean, even with the flagrant and the technical foul situation, you miss all 3.
Adams rolls that one in.
Checking in for Tampa is number 23, Trey Jones.
Going. First seat.
Reese Spates, the NBA champion with Golden State in 2015. He is from Bradenton, Florida. Hence the tie to Tampa, St. Petersburg, and really the entire state by and large represented on this roster, not just Tampa.
Think about how stacked those Florida national title front courts were with Mo Spades, Al Horford, Joakim Noah, and if you wanted to throw him in there at the 3, you'd say Corey Brewer. Like,
that is
a ridiculous front court. Corey really is a guard. We'll throw him in there for good measure.
Rutherford muscles his way inside.
How about the big fella just putting it on the floor right there and going right by Harrell.
Rutherford played college ball at UC Irvine for the Anteaters.
I like the drive going inside here. With Tampa being so small, Reynolds out of the game. Go to that paint, force the issue. That's not a good shot.
Adams with an air ball. This is Rutherford. Little point center action here. Now Clemens takes over.
Big guys like to dribble. They like to play out of their comfort zone. This is where his bread is buttered.
He does a great job getting to the line.
Well, you put him in action, you know, it's such a hard thing to guard when you've got guards like a Gabe York or you've got an Anthony Clemens or Ryan Brown that can come off these ball screens. Clemens gets downhill, you're in the drop, and Isaiah Adams gets caught a little bit reaching there. You've got to be another step in there to take it away, and if it gets sprayed to the corner, then you got to close out.
Checking in for Tampa is number 3, Garrett Denbo.
Isaiah Adams picked up the foul, and that's his 3rd. You get 6 in TBT games. There goes Adams to the bench.
Brandon Stroud in the Dunkin' Dogs game did foul out. So we've seen some players reach the max limit.
Bostic denied a lane entry. Here's Stroud with it.
Good job by Bradshaw squaring that ball up, but the flare he doesn't get over, and that was a good look there for Tampa.
Last touch by Rutherford, though, and it stays with Tampa.
That's where defense is. You know, you think about the multiple efforts you have to make. Pedro Bradshaw fights over that ball screen, squares the ball up, but then gets immediately flared, and Bostic got a good look.
Denbo to inbound. He finds Mason Harrell. Now Harrell's in trouble. Somehow got that to Bostic, who tried to rock the rim.
That would have been a heck of a play. It was a great cut. Harrell dropped it off, and Bostic had bad intentions with this. Look at where he took off from. Maybe a little over-ambitious. I mean, he's well outside the lane, listed at 6'2".
Also checking in number 2, Jameel Reynolds.
Bostic with 6 points today, 12 in round 1 from Clearwater, Florida. Eberlein Drive with its largest lead of the game. And Clemens off platform, nearly saved by Bradshaw, but here comes Tampa.
Eberlein Drive can get a better shot.
That was a wild pass from Stroud that Trey Dooms had no chance at.
Checking in for Eberlein Drive is number 4, A.J. Slaughter.
Eberlein Drive ball as A.J. Slaughter, the savvy veteran, checks into the game. The longest tenured player for Eberlein Drive in its TBT history. This is his 5th tournament. Ryan Brown dropped off. Brown gets it back from Bradshaw and draws the foul.
It's not a good foul from Francisco right there.
Two shots.
Ryan Brown's on the move. Just make him prove it. Contest the shot and live with the results.
Brown at the line for 2.
Ryan Brown had a great game in round 1 against Richards Elite for Eberlein Drive. hit 4 threes, scored 14 points.
He's had a good pro career. Played in the top league in Greece this last year. Averaged 11 points a game, was efficient, 46 from the field, 36 from 3. He's played all over.
He was an all-star in the Greek League back in 2019.
Much like AJ Slaughter, has just kind of bounced around and been a good player for a lot of different people.
Eberlein Drive quietly building a 10-point lead now, just over a minute to go in the half. Denbo around the screen, CO back to Denbo, 10 to shoot, and that drops in.
That's what he's out there for. Garrett Denbo, Division II player, but led the NCAA with 3.5 threes made a game as a junior. His 4-year college career, shot 42% from 3.
That was at Anderson University. Clemens wide left, and Denbo keeps it in bounds.
Tampa pickup just hanging around. Cut this lead down to 7. Gonna have the last possession, or should have the last possession of the first half.
And that's what you got to do in these TBT games, especially with the Elam ending. If you're just within shouting distance at the time the game clock gets turned off, you can go on a run and make up a lot of ground pretty quickly. CO with 3 on the shot clock, blocked by Bradshaw.
This is where, if you're Eberlein Drive, you've got to be so sharp communicating these screens. You're going to switch them all, you've got to talk them out. Strong side corner, so dangerous.
0.8 of a second left on the shot clock. CO
Reynolds. Oh, wow, what a cut and pass. Everything but the finish.
Man. Eberlein Drive thought it was a shot clock violation.
He did take some real time there to catch, gather, and go up with it.
As you can see, half a second listed on the game clock, and now they put 2 seconds on. So that's plenty of time for, not a ton of time, but enough time for
timeout here to
Eberlein Drive to get a look.
Yeah, draw something out.
That's a 30-second time.
Okay, 37-30, one final possession here in the half. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
You got 2 dribbles and try to get a shot up.
All right, cool. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go.
Tampa pick up basketball as Robbie said, continue to hang around, down 7 and trying to keep it that way. They need 2 seconds of defense on Eberlein Drive before half.
2 seconds to go. You think about like Bryce Drew pacer play here. You can throw it deep, a little hook and ladder action, but looking for make probably 1 or 2 passes. It's gonna have to go up though.
Anthony Clemens got it off, but it lands at the foot of the stanchion. And we go to halftime with Eberlein Drive ahead of Tampa pickup basketball, 37-30 in this second round TBT showdown. Winner moves on to the Lexington Regional Final here on the campus of the University of Kentucky. Let's go to Jen Hale.
Tremendous first half for Eberlein Drive, guys. Coach Gabe York getting it done for y'all. Leading scorer last game was 17. He's already at 18 today. How's he finding this other gear?
Yeah, that's what he does. He's a great shooter, one of the best shooters in the world. So we just have to find ways to create open shots for him and just continue to play together.
He's the only player right now in double digits for either team. Do you continue to ride that hot hand next half, or do you want to get other guys going when it comes to scoring?
Yeah, I think it goes both ways. We'll always look for him for easy scoring opportunities, but at the same time use him as a decoy as well, use him as a screener, and create looks for other players as well.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck.
All right, thank you.
Guys.
Thank you, Jen, and thank you, Coach Bryce Taylor, his Eberlein Drive squad a TBT charter program and trying to ramp up another deep TBT run. Halfway to a trip in the third round. They lead Tampa, Florida, pick up basketball by 7 at the break. Halftime between Eberlein Drive and Tampa pickup basketball, the first of 2 games in round 2 of the Lexington Regional. And as you can probably infer, the Kentucky alumni team, La Familia, takes the court next. They are already starting to file into Memorial Coliseum, members of Big Blue Nation, in anticipation of that game. One exciting half to come before we get there, though. Eberlein Drive in Tampa pickup basketball. 37-30, the Drive in front at halftime. Garrett Denbo and Tampa pick up basketball. Brian erased a 7-point halftime deficit against Eberlein Drive. Third quarter, just under 5 minutes away. TBT, the $1 million winner-take-all tournament. Welcome back courtside inside Memorial Coliseum in Lexington. Robbie Hummel, Chris Foster. So Eberlein Drive got a big first half from Gabe York. That's why they lead.
Yeah, it was the Gabe York show. I mean, with the threes he made, he scores 18 points. His teammates just 6 of 19 from the field combined. So he's been the offense, but their defense has done the job. Tampa just shooting 33% from the field.
We'll take a look at the first half stats brought to you by Purple. And for Tampa, Florida pickup basketball, some brutal free throw shooting. And I mean, look at that. If you gave them even 5 free throws, it would be it'd be a one possession game.
Yeah, a different game. Make some free throws. Certainly you want to see that field goal percentage crank up. You're going to have to slow down Gabe York, but they've done the job on everybody else on Eberlein Drive.
First half stats brought to you by Purple. Purple, less pain, better sleep. And it has been outright painful at times for Tampa pickup basketball at the free throw line. But there's still time. Got to find a way to stop that guy. Gabe York with a huge first half for Eberlein Drive. TBT, the basketball tournament, is powered by Puma and AARP. Join AARP and get instant access to member benefits. We are ready to start the third quarter between Eberlein Drive and Tampa Pickup Basketball, fronted by head coach Maurice Spates, the pride of St. Petersburg. And for a little bit more on Tampa Pickup Basketball, let's check in with Jen Hale.
Chris got a chance to visit with Spates coming out of the locker room where he tried to regroup his team at halftime. Two priorities going into this half. First of all, you got to slow down Gabe York, right? Look for Tampa to try to get a lot more bodies on him, make him feel their presence. And then offensively, they want to get David Collins going. He was scoreless in that first half. He's the team leader for this Tampa squad. So Spates feels like if they can get him scoring, the rest of the squad will follow.
All right, Jen, thank you very much. And Collins has to get it going at the free throw line, too, where he's 0 for 4. Tough shot, Isaiah Adams, but that's a good start for Tampa.
Yeah, think about David Collins. 1 of 12 from the field yesterday. Just 0 of 1 from the field, but he's 0 for 4 from the free throw line. It's just been a real struggle for him to put the ball in the basket. Good defense there, though. Collins making his presence felt on the other end.
Garrett Denbo, the Euro step. Wide right, Watson the rebound for Eberlein Drive.
Watson's done a nice job today of just getting vertical and making people score over the top of him.
Ryan Brown off the front of the tin. Terry Taylor with the offensive rebound. Watson the high pick. Clemens pops and hits.
A good screen there. Nate Watson, it's the contest on one end. It's setting a good ball screen on the other, and Anthony Clemens does the rest with the jumper.
Clemens has 8. Collins with the ball, and he throws it away.
It's amazing how just a little bit of deny there. Anthony Clemens getting in the passing lane, and you get your signals crossed. One player going back door, the other throwing a pass, and Eberlein Drive with a good start to this second half.
Bostic guarding Clemens now. Watson again, the screen.
A lot of dribbling here.
Clemens throws it up baseline.
If you're gonna dribble that much, you got to make it. Anthony Clemens getting to that little mid-range floater.
Clemens played for the Iowa Hawkeyes and Fran McCaffrey from 2012 to 2016, and Bostic with the answer on the other end.
Using that speed, Clemens got picked off on the screen and just never was able to square up the ball.
Clemens. Collins the rebound. Collins couldn't tell if that was a shot or a pass.
It almost looked like he was engaged with the game within the game with Gabe York. You know, they were holding each other and certainly grabbing. David Collins a little bit off balance, and his rough offensive output continues.
Watson draws the foul. That's on Jameel Reynolds.
Ball screen action here. We've seen a lot of Anthony Clemens doing it for himself, but now dropping it to the roll man. Watson getting a little bit of contact there and earning a trip to the foul line.
Watson's been a little touch and go at the foul line today. Played in.
Not a surprise. Shot 47% from the line in Spain last year.
Also played a little bit in Greece. 0 for 2. Neither team shooting the ball particularly well at the charity stripe. Bostic around York, and that pass was broken up partially by Terry Taylor and the backboard. York, who had 18 points in the first half. 3-ball Clemens. Reynolds had the rebound, but Terry Taylor batted it out of bounds. Tampa ball.
It's a good look, though. You know, York could have forced one up. Instead, he drove it. Extra pass, Terry Taylor. You will take that if you're Eberlein Drive and Bryce Taylor every time down, because it's a good offensive possession where the ball flows and you make the right play.
A bucket doesn't always necessarily mean a good offensive possession.
No, not at all. Anthony Clemens lucky there. That could have been a foul.
Bostic in the lane, lost the handle, but draws the foul.
It's the second time where we've seen Bostic here in the second half come off a pick and roll, and there's just nobody home. Nate Watson kind of tapping his chest saying, my bad. He's got to be there to stop the basketball, give some resistance, and let these guards get back up underneath.
Ryan Brown, the personal, his first.
This is what Tampa's done, though. You know, it felt like now they've got to make some free throws, but it's felt like Eberlein Drive has had the better start to the second half, but you still look up at the scoreboard, it's just an 8-point game. These free throws are, man, 5 of 12 is awful.
41.7%.
My goodness.
5 of 13, they're going the wrong way.
Got the mismatch there. Can they find it with Watson inside?
Collins closes out on York, and Adams denies the pass to Watson, but it stays with Eberlein Drive.
Give Isaiah Adams a lot of credit because at 6'7", 170, he's fighting 6'10", 260 right there. He's given up 90 pounds.
Adams played in the MAC last college basketball season for Toledo. To shoot for Clemens. He's having a good quarter.
That's a pretty jumper right there. Just get to your spot, raise up.
He's got 7 in the quarter. Sio with the left hand. Somehow got that around Watson. Might have been goaltending at that point.
Well, it's not an easy take right there. That hesitation throws the defense just enough for him to get the angle.
York, open lane, blocked from behind by Denbo. York gets it back. Taylor, 3-ball, in.
Good presence of mind there from Gabe York. Get your shot blocked, you never panic, you spray that thing out there, and it just shows how many weapons Eberlein Drive has. Terry Taylor hasn't been a huge factor today, but he's spotted up and he's ready to let that thing go. York, honestly, it's like he thought he was holding it out there to keep it away from the defender and actually made it so Denbo could block the shot. Good pass, and Eberlein Drive getting it done from the perimeter.
York just picked up his second personal a moment ago off the Isaiah Adams miss. Clemens with 12 in the game, almost had 14. Reynolds the rebound. Sio on the ball for Tampa, Florida, pick-up basketball. Denbo lets it fly. Holds the follow-through.
Terrell Brown just fell asleep because all Denbo did was relocate towards that wing, and that was just enough space for him to get it off.
And he doesn't need much. Neither does this guy, Gabe York, although he's got...
Well, he and David Collins are going to war right here. They are in battle.
And then Collins left, and York took advantage.
Just raises up. That's the range, and that's the release.
21 for Gabe York.
What a game he's had.
.11 lead for Eberlein Drive. Collins.
He's looking for anything to go.
Anywhere. Free throw line,
yeah.
3-point land, close to the hoop. Taylor backing down Sio and turns it over. Isaiah Adams with that long wingspan. Adams somehow got it back.
The Anthony Clemens deflection ended up just being a pass to Isaiah Adams, but the activity level there, Terry Taylor's just got to take that. He's got the mismatch. He can't pass that out. He's just got to go make a play.
Watson rattles out. Tampa ball. Timeout on the floor. Tampa pickup basketball has made it a single-digit game again. They trail by 9, middle stages of the third quarter. Round 2 of TBT.
The media, so a longer timeout, right? What do you guys think?
They're still just pushing up on everything. I think Mayday's to free up.
Like they have a little bit more energy and effort than we do. We can't have that. Knock it down. Gabe York. Gabe York. We're okay. We're okay. Stay solid. Stay solid. In our shift, show hands. Show hands. Yeah. Hey, let's just refocus. Let's regain control of the game, okay? Don't worry about them. Don't worry about the referee. Hey guys, I feel like they have a little bit more energy. Hey guys, I feel like they have a little bit more energy and effort than we do. We can't have that. Knock it down. Gabe York. Gabe York. We're okay. We're okay. Stay solid. Stay solid. In our shift, show hands. Show hands. Yeah. Hey, let's just refocus. Let's regain control of the game, okay? Don't worry about them. Don't worry about the referee.
That's in the huddle, powered by Puma. You were listening to Eberlein Drive head coach Bryce Taylor. Did you agree with Coach?
Yeah, no, and I think that it's felt like in the second half that Eberlein Drive has been right there on the cusp of pushing this thing right back out, and every time that's happened, Tampa pickup has had an answer. Gabe York has been the catalyst. The free throw shooting, a big problem for Tampa, but it's not like Eberlein's made them either. They're 10 of 16, and there you go again. Tampa, Florida, a little pin down in there for Denbo. They continue to just hang around.
9 for Denbo, who averaged over 3.5 made threes per game his junior season at Anderson University. As Robbie said, that led D2. York, kick out. Taylor. Rebound up for grabs. It finds its way to Denbo. Seo on a drive. Too strong off the window. Rutherford the other way. Long pass, Bradshaw on Stroud. Stroud blocks his shot, but a foul.
That's where bad shots are like runouts. You know, Seo, one of the smaller players on the floor, you're going in there with the athletes. Contested shot, you don't get it to go. Now your floor spacing is all messed up, and Eberlein takes advantage.
Two. You keep saying that, but you ain't doing nothing. They shut you down. And you stay with who? With who? With who? With who? I'm supposed to let you talk to me crazy? Oh, okay then. No, I thought. I know. One. But look where you
Bradshaw hits both free throws. What's it like as a player when a ref tells you that you shut down?
You're getting shut down. I don't know. I've never had the ref tell me that. I've never heard any ref say that, for that matter.
Stroud kick out. Adams, that was off.
Come on.
That was Mason Harrell, who was having some playful banter with official James Hicks a moment ago.
That's a good pass from Brandon Stroud, but Isaiah Adams, you might be open for a reason. 29% from three this last year at Toledo. He's not a great three-point shooter.
York is. That was a brick. Brown with the steal. And it is Eberlein Drive ball.
We'll see here. These are always tough to tell. Looked like that was off the foot of Terrell Brown.
FrancisCio is letting the officials know about it. Bradshaw for three. Good.
It's one of those big moments in the game. You steal a possession, tough no call that goes against Tampa, but then you take advantage, and Pedro Bradshaw knocks down a big one.
Harrell misses the mid-range J. Rutherford, low block, guarded by Harrell, up with the left hand.
But he did his work early there, Chris. He runs the floor, and Rutherford just brings that physicality right to Harrell.
Largest lead of the day for Eberlein Drive. Deflected by York. Bradshaw on the run.
Oh, what a pass.
York lays it in.
How about Pedro Bradshaw, a guy that did not score in the win against Richards Elite, but he has had a big impact here in this second half. Knocks down a three, running the floor, dropping a dime off here. A little no-look pass. That's coming right at you, and Gabe York's doing the rest.
Well, Eberlein Drive is on a 9-0 run. They lead by 15. And Robbie, I think back to what we heard in Eberlein Drive's huddle with head coach Bryce Taylor not long ago. He said, we need more energy and effort. We have to take control of the game again, and they really did.
No, they have. They've taken advantage of some breaks and certainly made some of their own. Forced some turnovers, gotten out in that break, and thought Pedro Bradshaw off the bench, giving them a real lift here.
Bostic pivoting.
Long time in that key.
Final minute of the third, another Tampa turnover. Bradshaw, and one.
The turnovers are just killing Tampa pickup basketball, but so is Pedro Bradshaw. Little run out action, more defense creating offense. Terrell Brown willing to give it up. There's the contact, but I love that Bradshaw keeps his head to the rim. He never loses track of where that thing's at.
Foul number 4 on Isaiah Adams, and Bradshaw into double figures now.
That just shows how deep this Eberlein Drive team is.
Yeah.
You know, Pedro Bradshaw coming in today would probably be 9-10 on the scouting report, and he has had a major, major impact.
Less than 30 seconds to go, third quarter. Eberlein Drive has taken control of this game late in the third. Bostic activates with 4 on the shot clock. Bradshaw, 3 for Clemens, 2. Clemens, top of the key, no. But a lot of other things when Eberlein Drives way in the quarter, 62-44 as we head to the fourth. Elam ending not far away. Eberlein Drive will try and put the finishing touches on a round 2 win. Saturday, it is baseball night in America, and it's showtime. Shohei Ohtani leads the Dodgers against the Red Sox, or the Guardians take on the Royals. Check local listings for the game in your area. That's Saturday, 7 Eastern on Fox. We have a lot of TBT basketball to go on this Sunday on the Fox family of networks, including some great college alumni teams in action. War Ready versus La Familia coming up next from Lexington. That's the Kentucky alumni team. West Virginia versus Herd-That. That's West Virginia versus Marshall. That's a great rivalry. The Louisville alumni team will be in action tonight on FS1 against Sideline Cancer. Fourth quarter in this second round showdown of TBT 2025. Pedro Bradshaw rattles out a three for Eberlein Drive, who leads by almost 20 points here early in the fourth quarter.
The turnovers have really jump-started Eberlein Drive. They now have 14 points off 9 forced turnovers, but that number was only 4 points at the half.
That's a good start to the quarter for David Collins in Tampa, Florida, pick up basketball. Rutherford, the foul for Eberlein, is first.
It had to feel good for David Collins to get one to go down. A little fake dribble handoff, burn to the rim, take some contact on. That's a really difficult shot. Now he just needs to see one of these foul shots go down. Finally.
He was 0 for 4 before that foul shot. Collins played 4 seasons of college ball at South Florida from 2017 to 2021. Did a grad year at Clemson. Anthony Clemens forgotten in the corner.
A good read right there, playing pick and roll, but you're seeing just how they're helping to take away that roll man. Extra pass again, and Eberlein Drive continues to share the rock.
Clemens with 15, and off the miss by Collins, Terrell Brown for Ryan Brown. No relation, but certainly in sync.
Tampa wants to sell out with pressure on the other end. You beat it, you're going to have opportunities. You draw that defender and kick it to the corner. Good offense.
21-point lead for the Drive. Collins fakes out Clemens. Wild shot over Rutherford. Bradford leaks out to Brown. Brown lays it in. And an emergency timeout. Tampa, Florida pick up basketball. What Eberlein Drive's doing right now, it looks like a lot of fun.
Well, they're getting out, they're running. Certainly the turnovers they forced have been a big part of this, but a bad shot is just as bad as a turnover. It leads to another run out. Eberlein Drive in full control here in the fourth quarter.
Basketball is a fun
what
game.
What happened to the stunt? Why are you full body helping?
When you're playing this well like Eberlein Drive. We'll try and blend an ear into one of the huddles here.
Well, like, what happened to the stunt, though? Hey, who in there? Is DH in there? Or he don't want to play? For Garrett? Yeah. We need a guard out there, though. Let's finish, y'all. Come on. Let's bring it up. Bring it up. Let's finish.
Head coach Maurice Spates, a championship pedigree, former Florida Gator. His Tampa pickup basketball team, it's been an impressive TBT debut for this team. They won their first TBT game 2 days ago, but Eberlein Drive continues to look like a really solid team.
There's no doubt. Eberlein Drive looks like a team that could win the whole thing. You could say the same about the Ville. You could say the same thing about La Familia. There's a lot of good teams in this region here.
Dooms with the bucket.
I think also, Chris, that there is some institutional knowledge that has to go into playing in TBT, of understanding what type of players you need, and just kind of like some of the nuances of the game. It's different. So this is only going to help Tampa as they come back next year, and certainly Eberlein Drive's been at this for a long, long time.
Pedro Bradshaw with 14, and Eberlein Drive will tell you that too. The first year they entered TBT when the tournament began in 2014, they were the 29th team in a 32-team field, ranking-wise. Big triple there by Justin Blanks. So you mentioned the institutional knowledge component, and I think Eberlein Drive would be the first to say you're absolutely right.
Justin Blanks getting on the board. 2 years at McHenry University, 41% three-point shooter over those 2 seasons. Last year in the TBL, 68% of his shots came from 3. He wants to let them go from downtown.
Rutherford's going to the foul line for Eberlein Drive.
Eberlein Drive is punishing Tampa for this pressure. When they've tried to pressure them, it's been, we're not settling for jumpers. We are going for layups, which I have to say is a little bit refreshing from all the breakaway threes we've watched get bricked over the last couple of days.
6 points for Rutherford after the foul on Brandon Stroud. And there's Davion McKnight, who wrapped up an outstanding college career at Xavier earlier this year. He was an All-Conference USA player downstate in Bowling Green, Kentucky for Western Kentucky.
It'll be fun to kind of track how his pro career goes. 2 very good seasons at Xavier. He's great burst, can make plays for others.
Out to Justin Blanks. Bradshaw the rebound. Ooh, and Trey Dooms got hit in the mouth.
That was not good.
He's down on the floor right now. Play continues. 5-on-4 advantage for the Drive. But here's Devin Harris. Dooms is back on his feet. Blanks lays it in.
Dooms up. He got smoked right there, unintentionally. He's still feeling that.
Oof. Eyes watering a little bit. Here's McKnight over to Brown. Under 6 minutes to go in the game, but less than 2 minutes or thereabouts until we get to the Elam ending. Rutherford going back to the line.
I think they called an offensive foul.
Excuse me. They did.
Well, there was no doubt about Rutherford, what he was doing here. He caught this and was thinking, I am driving it. It's really the off arm. It's not that somebody was standing in there to take a charge. Watch with this left. He just discards his defender. Collins goes flying.
Whistle off ball.
The foul is on Clemens. That's his second.
Anthony Clemens whistled for the foul for Eberlein Drive. It's his second. Stroud has to throw it away.
Nowhere to go.
Collins up in Clemens' space. Taylor the screen. Harris switches on to Clemens now. Now he's picked up by Stroud. Clemens.
He's had a couple of possessions where he's just dribbled out the clock and then just hit the dagger.
As you would say, the ball gets stuck a little bit.
Well, make the shot, it doesn't matter.
Clemens has gotten unstuck a couple of times. Here's Terry Taylor. Wild shot. Harris the rebound. Up to Dooms. Blanks. That's well short. Clemens catches it underneath the rim. McKnight draws the foul. That's on David Collins, his second.
The foul is on Collins. That's his second and the team's second.
Elam ending means we'll turn off the game clock, play to a target score. A target score is equal to 8 points greater than the leading team score. In this case, Eberlein Drive. Taylor in and out. Harris backing down Brown and laying it in.
He knew where he was taking Terrell Brown right there. He saw that mismatch with the size and thought, I am putting him in the torture chamber.
Eberlein Drive calls a timeout. We are under 4 minutes, and that means it's time for the Elam ending. Target score, 8 points, greater than Eberlein Drive's leading score of 77. We will flight to 85 as we cross over into the Elam ending. That portion of the game is next. The Elam ending is a TBT original. First stoppage under 4 minutes in the fourth quarter. The game clock stops. A target score is set, equal to the leading team score +8. And the first team to the target score wins. So it is all gas, no break through the end of this thing. Target score in this game is 85. With Eberlein Drive leading Tampa, Florida pick-up basketball 77-56. Winner moves on to the third round of TBT. A foul on Anthony Clemens. That's his third.
The foul is on Clemens. That's his third, and the team's fourth.
Clemens, as you can see, not happy with that call. But a long road for Tampa, Florida to get back in this game. Collins with the reverse.
Pretty drive right there. Burned it on the baseline and to the other side of the rim.
5 for Collins.
Clemens is playing a dangerous game here. Oh, I thought that could have been off Terry Taylor.
Very close. Isaiah Adams certainly thought so. Pedro Bradshaw, big game off the bench for Eberlein Drive, finds Terry Taylor. Pushing Isaiah Adams into the lane and drawing the foul.
Punishing Isaiah Adams right there. He just lowers that shoulder and knocks you back. Terry Taylor's such a strong player.
Adams picks up his 5th. You get 6. Yeah, Terry Taylor has played in, what's his NBA count at? 98 games in the NBA. That's
over the course of 4 seasons.
Yeah. That's one of the highest totals for a TBT athlete in the tournament this year. So he gets a couple at the free throw line for Eberlein Drive. They now need 6 to win. Harris dribbles it away.
Rutherford getting in the stance and guarding essentially a guard, Devin Harris.
Clemens pops. Collins the rebound. Deontay Bostic. Terrell Brown, what a takeaway.
And for those small guards, high hands will help you.
Rutherford got blocked, but he put it back in on second effort.
Rutherford just running the floor and never quit on the play. Stayed right there with it.
Collins drains a three. He's found his offense in the fourth quarter and the Elam ending, but it might be too little too late.
Have to fix the net on the far end. And David Collins' swish is still staying up there.
Turn the net inside out. Taylor for three. Harris the rebound. Eberlein drive still needs 4 to win. Skip past Adams. Back to Harris. And he draws the foul on Tommy Rutherford.
I was honestly hoping that somebody would shoot
Foul
it.
is on Rutherford. That's his third.
I've never seen it not get stopped to fix. Now somebody finally grabbed the net and brought it back down.
Harris at the line for 2.
Devin Harris, the Defensive Player of the Year in the A-Sun Conference when he played at Jacksonville University, Tampa Jesuit High School grad. With 7 points in the game, but Tampa, Florida pickup basketball needs 22 to win. Rutherford blocked by Collins, but that's a foul.
Rutherford got matched up with David Collins, and he just was bringing it to him with the physicality. Eberlein drive with good recognition there.
Rutherford at the line for 2.
If Tampa's going to be this small, there's always going to be an advantage for Tommy Rutherford out there.
Rutherford has hit double figures in each of Eberlein Drive's 2 games this TBT. First team All Big West at UC Irvine in 2018. 2 free throws and Eberlein Drive is knocking on the door. They need 2 to win. Terrell Brown almost with another steal. Terry Taylor almost with a steal.
Eberlein is swarming on that possession there.
They force a brick by Isaiah Adams, and the drive can win it here. Clemens did not cross half court. Terry Taylor. Rebound Collins. Justin Blanks for 3. Clemens the rebound. Rutherford for Bradshaw. Clemens had the Elam ender for the drive in game 1. He has it stripped. And Tampa, Florida pick up basketball with the ball. Blanks out to Harris. On line, but a little strong, and a collision for Eberlein Drive. Blanks with the ball back, and that's strong as well. Collins touched it last. Eberlein Drive with their 3rd try to win it.
This game is kind of limping to the finish line here.
Eberlein Drive playing with its food.
Yeah, I think so.
Pedro Bradshaw. He's in trouble. Here's Rutherford. Guarded by Harris, and Collins helps along with Adams. Rutherford blocked and fouled.
The foul is on Harris. That's his second and the team's 5th.
So Rutherford can win it at the foul line with 2 made free throws.
At the line for 2.
Rutherford's got 11 in the game, and he's 5 for 7 at the line today. 5 for 8. So the drive can't win it here, but they can get 1 point closer. And they do.
Eberlein drive is going to be a real factor. Assuming that they play La Familia, that will be a heck of a basketball game.
Harris misses the putback, but gets it on the second try. He's going to the foul line. Fouls on Pedro Bradshaw.
Looking ahead, you think about the pro talent. If La Familia does get by War Ready, there'll be a lot of good players on the floor at the same time.
War Ready's an Auburn alumni team. How do you think they match up against the Kentucky alumni team?
They're going to need someone besides Wendell Green to come on and be a guy. You know, they got it from a couple different guys in that first game, but it can't just all be Wendell out there by himself. He's going to need some help.
Bradshaw loses the handle. We play on. Blanks. That's good. Blanks has 8 all in the fourth quarter in the Elam ending.
Credit Tampa. They've continued to play hard here. Dropping off at the foul.
Sure is. On Terrell Brown. They're asking for a mop.
They continued to pressure and just be a pest. That off arm. Tampa pickup not going anywhere.
Can you go back court? Huh? Can you go back court? Yes. Right here. Spot there.
Devin Harris has played well down the stretch specifically. (84-68) the score. Eberlein drive needs 1 point to win. Collins is going to the foul line, which has been a bugaboo for him in this game. That should have been an and-one for him. It's definitely a shot, certainly some contact, but he could have easily made that for a three-point play. Foul on Brown. It's kind of been the story for Tampa pickup basketball, believe it or not, the foul line. This game would have been much closer even at halftime had Tampa hit more from the stripe.
Well, they're 8 of 18. I mean, think about what this game is. If they had made a good percentage, even now there'd be some game pressure.
Adams misses.
The way Eberlein's finishes, they're fortunate they built up that big cushion.
1 point will do it. Collins poked the ball free. Clemens. Bradshaw's got it. Fresh shot clock. Jump stop.
Oh, man.
Could have been another offensive foul.
I think it should have been an offensive foul. The ball did go in.
And Eberlein Drive is saying it should count.
Count the basket.
It does.
Dude, David Collins, man, I don't know how much more of a charge that could be. I mean, that dude is posted up and just gets run over. That is not a good call.
One of the strangest Elam ending buckets we've seen. But credit Pedro Bradshaw with the game-winning shot. And Eberlein Drive is through to the third round of TBT for the second straight year.
Well, it stinks that the game ended on that because Tampa did play hard, and boy, Eberlein just looked disheveled in that Elam ending, but that should have been an offensive foul.
Blocking out the end of the Elam ending, this was a very strong performance for Eberlein Drive, who has still won both of their games by double digits.
Well, in fairness, Chris, that really was the second unit. You know, you had most of the starters over there on the sideline, but it did get a little bit hairy, and certainly if Eberlein Drive is to go as far as they think they can, that's going to have to be something that's cleaned up.
Still a long road for Eberlein Drive and all of these teams in TBT, but with 2 wins, Eberlein Drive needs 4 more to win the $1 million prize. And the cheer you're hearing inside Memorial Coliseum is for the Kentucky alumni team, who has just taken the floor for warm-ups ahead of their second round game against an Auburn alumni team, War Ready. So an SEC love fest around the corner in the next round 2 game of the Lexington Regional in the basketball tournament. DeAndre Liggins, one of the many recognizable faces for the Kentucky alumni team, and Pedro Bradshaw gets the honors of moving Eberlein Drive's name through on the TBT bracket.
How about Bradshaw here today, Chris? Coming through after going scoreless 2 days ago, and it was a big part. Ends up being the third scorer. Anthony Clemens gives you 18. Bradshaw gives you 16. You know what Gabe York did? This team has plenty of firepower.
Eberlein Drive awaits the winner of La Familia and War Ready in the third round, which will be the Lexington Regional Final on Tuesday at 6 Eastern, which you can watch on FS2. La Familia War Ready coming up next on Fox. And some great action in the Louisville Regional, which you see at the top of the bracket. The Ville is the Louisville alumni team, which could very well lead to a Louisville-Kentucky showdown in the quarterfinal of this year's TBT. It happened last year. We certainly wouldn't be opposed to that happening again. Two great basketball programs. Andrew Harrison, his twin brother Aaron, on the Kentucky alumni team roster as well. It's a loaded group of former Wildcats wearing and representing Big Blue Nation. Willie Cauley-Stein in the field as well for La Familia. And it is going to be a great atmosphere inside Memorial Coliseum for the Kentucky alumni squad in their second round game of TBT. Please come on over to Fox and join us for that game. NHRA qualifying is up next on FS1. For Robbie Hummel and Jen Hale, this is Chris Foster saying so long for now from Lexington. Eberlein Drive is into the third round of TBT.